Zalgiris is here to play against Olympiacos. The special aspect of this game is that it's not going to be the last game for Zalgiris this season in EuroLeague, because you managed to accomplish something that has been done since 1999, advancing to the EuroLeague playoffs. How do you feel about this accomplishment?
I think it's been great for us. I think it's something that at the beginning of the year we knew we could accomplish, and it was one of our goals. And I just think we've done a great job this season of fighting through the ups and downs and playing our best basketball at a good time. And so I'm just excited for the city of Kaunas. I'm excited for the club. I'm excited for our team, and just ready to get this playoffs going.
So you realize how special this is because, as you have probably realized, Kaunas is a city that lives and breathes basketball. In most European countries, football or soccer, if you will, is the dominant sport, but not in Kaunas. It's basketball. Do you receive what it means for the fans, for the city, for the country, perhaps, this accomplishment of Zalgiris?
Yeah, the city kind of almost shuts down, it seems like, during game times, and so it's huge. Lithuania, everyone's embracing basketball, and this year especially, I've noticed walking around, I get recognized, and for a guy like me who's just average height, walking around and get recognized, that's pretty impressive.
You're a superstar.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Usually I just kind of blend right in, so people in Lithuania really embrace this team and basketball in general, and it's really important to them, so it's been really special to feel that support and that love.
How do you feel having a superstar status?
I honestly wouldn't say superstar. I get recognized once in a while.
The fans perceive you as such.
I don't even notice it then. I don't even notice it because I just kind of go by my daily life. But it is nice getting recognized once in a while, and when they come up to you and appreciate the work you put in and stuff like that. So it makes all those long days, long hours, tough practices definitely worth it.
When the season begins, most teams don't set specific goals. They don't say, we will go for the title, we'll go for the Final Four. They say one game at a time, and let's see. When did you begin seriously thinking that, whoa, this year we can make it, we can go to the playoffs?
Honestly, probably from the start. This roster, I thought that we had a good chemistry, a lot of talent, and so right from the beginning, it was something that was definitely a goal for this team. But as the season goes on, a lot of stuff happened to stuff, and we had some big wins, some road wins, and everything, and then it just gets more and more realistic. And in EuroLeague, nothing's given to you. Any team can beat anyone, and so this year we've been fortunate enough to get some good wins, and we're just kind of rolling with it.
Let's talk about your performance. Last season, you averaged, as I can read here, 8.7 points, 3.2 assists per game. Now, we had a major spike this season, 12.7 points per game, 6.2 assists per game. Now, you also play 7 minutes more per game, but this is not the only reason behind the increase on your averages, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of factors. I think just the comfort factor. I understand the system that Saris wants now way better. I'm obviously getting an opportunity with the more minutes and that role, and so I'm just trying to embrace it and do whatever I need to do for the team to win, really. And so this season the numbers have been great, but some games it might not be stats that make it happen. And so for me, I just want to help the team win, and this year it's been great for that.
This season has been a big step up for you, especially considering your overall progress. I mean, this is your third professional season. You began in Gran Canaria, you won all Eurocup second team honors, you made the next step. Next season you signed with the EuroLeague team. Now you led that team to the EuroLeague playoffs. For fans, journalists, everyone, you are considered a candidate for the all EuroLeague team. How do you evaluate your progress over these 3 years?
I'm happy with it. That's something that I pride myself on, is constantly getting better. As a player, as a person, it's important to me to wake up every morning and have something to work towards. And so I'm happy with it, but I'm not satisfied at all. I want to keep getting better. And like you said, playoffs this year, but there's a lot more room to go. You know, there's Final Four, there's EuroLeague title, there's a lot more things that, you know, there's still to be checked off. So that's the goal, and that's what I want to keep working towards.
How have you developed as a player? What have you improved in your game the most during these 3 years?
It's hard to pinpoint one thing. I think a lot of different aspects. I think mentally, you know, I've become stronger and tougher in the game, and I'm trying to pick up, you know, strategies better as well, just understanding the game. But then physically, you know, every day again, I'm trying to work on anything: quickness, shooting, passing, dribbling, all that stuff that goes into being a great player. So there's so many aspects, and I don't think you can ever be perfect at anything. So just want to keep working on it.
I'm going to read a quote to you. Last year we were a 10-player team, but now we know who's our leader. It's Kevin Pangos. He's ready to lead every EuroLeague team. We are happy to have such players like Kaunas and Dulanovas for many years, but Kevin lifts us to the highest level. Have you heard that quote before?
Yeah, actually, I didn't hear it until recently, though.
You know who said it?
Yes, I do.
How do you feel about it?
I feel great. You know, that's definitely a compliment and stuff, but
for those who don't know, it's your head coach.
Yes, it is from coach, yeah. And no, it means a lot, but that's something that I feel like's required. You know, I feel like my job as a point guard is to be a leader, and I think in some ways it's almost obvious. You know, what coach wants, it's my job to translate it on the court and get the team to play our best. So I thought last year I did an okay job at some moments, but not nearly enough. And this year I stepped in just trying to really you know, elevate that part of my game. And so I think I've done better. I still don't think I've been perfect. You know, it's my job to keep our team consistent, and as a point guard I can't have a day off. And so just trying to be sharp every single day and just keep getting better at that. So I feel like the team translates what my energy is.
What it is like for a point guard like yourself, not only a point guard, the floor general, you know, the guy who nearly every offense of his team goes through his hands. What is it like to play under Zalgiris, who, you know, very well his career and what he has done in that position?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, that was one of the main reasons why I came to Zalgiris was to learn from him, and he's had so much experience at the EuroLeague, NBA level. He's won so many titles and games and championships, all that kind of stuff. So for me to learn under him has been great. You know, it wasn't easy, obviously. He really challenges you, but I think that's been great for me and brought out the best. And still to this day, I'm trying to learn every single day something new from him if I can.
Is he as strict as he looks on camera sometimes?
Yeah, he can be, you know, but he picks his spots pretty well. He's tough on you, but it's only because he has a high expectation and he knows what you're capable of. So I would say if he's not hard on you, then you're kind of missing out, because it's a chance for you to grow and get better. And so I think everything he does is for a reason.
Now, Zalgiris was also famous because he was what we call a born leader. He was always a leader, whether it was his clubs, his Lithuanian national team. What it means to have the confidence of not only such a player, but such a character to give you the confidence to be a leader yourself.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, you know, when you have a leader like that that's kind of passing it off to you a little bit, that's something that's great for a point guard. And like I said, when I have a leader like that as a coach, it's every single day I have someone that I can learn from and look to and kind of follow his lead and develop my own leadership abilities. So I think it's great. It's something that definitely I want to work on every single day.
You also said that it has been very helpful that you have adapted more in your second year in Kaunas. So tell me about life in Kaunas. Is the transition finally smooth after that sunny year in Las Palmas?
Yeah, you know what? It actually was a transition at first. I was kind of spoiled in Las Palmas that first year with the sun, and it took me a bit to get used to.
Even though you are from Ontario.
Even though I'm from Ontario, exactly. So you'd think it'd be easy to transition, but I definitely got spoiled my first year and came to Kaunas. It's an amazing city, actually, and Obviously, amazing country, embracing basketball. But the weather's different. The sun's out way less, so it took me a bit to get used to. But this year, especially, I feel much more comfortable. I know all the restaurants to go to. I know more people in the community. I know just places to go, and I have a much better routine. So it's great. It's got everything I need, and our facility there is one of a kind, especially in Europe. And I spend more time there than my own apartment, I think. So.
Does it remind you a bit of home, Kaunas?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, the seasons, that's really similar to home. And at the same time, you just kind of find your places that you go on a daily basis. You get your routine and go to certain restaurants, go on days off, you kind of do your certain things. And so it's been great. It's all I can ask for. And it's really, comfortable feeling in a city like Kaunas, a small place like that.
It's interesting that you say this thing because many, let's say, American Canadian players, players that grew up on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, that got used to a different kind of lifestyle, when they come to Europe and play in, and not play in a major city like Madrid, like Milan, like Athens, and they play in a city like Kaunas, they are not getting adjusted very well in this kind of environment. Do you think that it's best for you to be in a city when you can focus primarily and solely on basketball?
I say it depends on the person. I think there's nothing wrong with sometimes getting your mind off basketball on days off and stuff as well if you're in a city that has things accessible to that. But I think it's been great for me to focus on basketball also. It's gives me a chance to every day work on stuff, and I live 3-minute drive from the arena, so it takes no time at all to get there and back. And so I think it depends on the person. Some people need that escape from basketball. Some people love being immersed in it 24/7 for the entire year, and so it just depends.
Last year you went to the summer league, the NBA summer league. You didn't manage to find a contract in the NBA. What kind of motivation does this create for a player? An extra motivation?
The summer league, you mean?
Yeah, the
Or
fact that you didn't manage to
didn't.
find a contract in the NBA did
Yeah.
motivate you extra.
Yeah, for sure. Any chance that you don't get picked, it kind of burns a flame in you. So for me, it's just I just want to keep on trying to go, keep on trying to fulfill that dream. And I grew up watching the Toronto Raptors and everything, so I just wanted to give it another chance.
And Steve Nash.
And Steve Nash, obviously, yeah. And so that experience was great. I thought I got better playing against good competition, and wasn't the year, so came over here and just continued to just chip away, and trying to get better. I keep on repeating that, but that's the biggest thing is, I'm 25. I got hopefully many years left, and so I'm just trying to make the most of it and be the best player I can become.
Obviously, the big goal for every basketball player is the NBA. Is it the same for Kevin Pangos?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said no. Like I said, I grew up watching the NBA, going to Raptors games,
And the Canadian who was a major
and
superstar.
the major superstar. So I grew up in that era where it's like the NBA was everything, and so being over here in Europe is amazing. The competition is outstanding, and I think some people might not always recognize that worldwide, but the competition is amazing. But for me to play with the best of the best in the world would be top of the list.
So this summer you are become a free agent. Do you think that you have improved enough this season that the NBA teams that overlooked your case the previous summer might reconsider?
I don't know. I hope so. I guess we'll wait and see, right? But like I said, that stuff's out of my control. I just want to focus on the stuff that I can control, and there's a lot of people making decisions, and I just got to do my best to try and help them with those decisions in my favor. But the stuff I can't control, I can't worry about too much. So I'm just gonna kind of focus on right here, right now, and get the job done.
Because the NBA is with every passing year, it seems that the NBA is signing even more and more players from EuroLeague. You saw what happened last year with Fenerbahce. They missed two of their basic players for the NBA, like Bogdanovic and Udo, for example. Why do you think this is happening? Why do you think that the NBA is seeking players in Europe?
I think it's the greater respect for the level that's out here. I think people are hopefully noticing how talented EuroLeague basketball is, and so you're seeing guys from the EuroLeague go to the NBA every year, whether it's 2, 3, 4, or 5 guys, and they're making an impact almost right away. And so I don't think that can get unnoticed when guys are going and making that sort of impact on NBA teams. So I think EuroLeague's a spot that people are going to continue to look for years going forward.
And about yourself, I have to ask you about this. You come from a college, Gonzaga, that has a great reputation for producing great players. You are still considered a hero for this college. They love you very much. What do you think about your college? What do you think about this season?
I love my college. They did so much for me. Coming out of high school, I had some offers, but not a ton. And Gonzaga was the one that fit perfectly for me, and went there, and the culture was perfect. Family atmosphere, grinded out mentality to just want to win. And 4 years there, I wouldn't give it back for anything. It was amazing. Made some really good friends, won a lot of games, and it was special.
Is it my idea, or sometimes the connection between Gonzaga and its players, it seems more special in comparison with how other players are with their colleges? Why is that?
Yeah, I'd say probably it's the small school atmosphere, maybe the underdog mentality. We really bond together, and Gonzaga recruits a certain type of person. They're just not getting the most talented guy out there. They're really getting guys with good character, guys that want to work hard, and that value, a family environment. And so when you have all those same type of guys going in there, you get pretty close with people, and guys always want to come back for that same reason. It's like a family, and Gonzaga is like a home. So definitely going to stay in touch with everyone there and probably go back.
Speaking about, we're going to go back to questions. Speaking about the EuroLeague players that go to the NBA, you have played with Luka Doncic. You had 2 matchups this season that were pretty great in Kaunas and Madrid. What do you think about him? Because you are relatively young, not as young as him, and you know that he's considered possibly among a number 1 pick.
Yeah.
What do you think about his
I think he's
potential?
Really talented. I think he's going to be a great pro in the NBA. You just look at the stuff he's doing in EuroLeague with grown men at the age he is right now, and it's pretty impressive. He's made clutch plays. He's made flashy plays. He's always under control for his size. People might not realize how big of a guard he actually is. He's tall, he's strong, and so I think he's going to make a great impact. Maybe it might be a little transition at first. I think there's always an adjustment. The game's a little different and the pace and stuff, but I think he's going to have no problem adjusting to it, and we'll see how good he can be in the future.
But in your last game in Madrid, you put him on skates in one play. Did you?
Yeah. I think he just tried to cut me off, and I just instinctively did a move, and I didn't shoot or anything after it. I just pulled it back, but I got him pretty good. But yeah, he's got me a couple times too, so we've had some good battles.
Did you see what buzz this move made on social media? Many people said that, thought that it was a bit of a statement. Did you see what Kevin Pangos did to the potential number 1 pick?
I actually didn't even see it on social media, really.
Yeah.
I haven't gone on social media too much this year, so I didn't really follow it. But at the moment, I didn't even realize really what happened until some of my teammates kind of told me after. But it just happened so quick.
All right, Kevin, we are surpassed your time.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much
No problem.
for
Thank
the
you.
conversation.
Thank you.